busy night, busy night. I'm wondering if I could do like I hadn't done a channeling session for a while, and wondering how it might go. I was sensing something called Ja-reice, and yeah, I think Ja-reice, are you there? Yeah, I'm here there. You know what you're talking about. I know. I've been away for a long time. I died about 10 years ago, and yeah, I just do my thing, you know, man. Just like the thing I do. Yeah, I used to be like a fisherman, and it was all good stuff, like, and things change as they do when you get older. It's just one of the things you just have to do with what you got to do, really. No problem, you know. I miss my daughter Nikki and Ja-reice. We used to be very close, you know, and things change a bit, you know. As you get older, you just do whatever, and you split up the family, and we just go around really. I always thought it was a bit Trinidadian, and I used to like do the Jamaican Islands and this stuff, the Caribbean. Yeah, I know all these things, but you know, don't worry about these things too much. You just like as you do, you know. So, is there anything you can tell us about from the afterlife, respect to the afterlife? Yeah, it's a bit different. Time goes different here. You know, like 10, 20 years for years. I died in 65, so I don't know. So yeah, you've been gone quite a while actually. Okay, so it's really a different type of time scale. So where are you now? What I had like a retreat in my area of like what you call heaven. This is where I am at the moment. I'm just like chilling and things, and I just get into a mix with like family, relatives, and people that passed over. You know, it's like I say, time goes really slow here, and it's different from where you are on Earth and at. It's just like different dimension, you know. So okay. So how did you pass? You know, what happened there? Well, you know, these things happened to you. I had like the big C caught up with me, man. I was always a fan of the old wood bands and stuff, and you know, it's just like these things happened, you know. And one day I woke up and it's spitting out blood, and then it kind of quickly went from there. I was like bed bound, and you know, and then I got really sick really quick. I used to turn around as a fisherman, do some work on some different islands in the Caribbean area, and there's a bit of a mixture in my family, and you know, it mixed with some women on different islands, and it really sort of settled so well. So I got family spread out and stuff, you know. Okay, so what's the future for you? You know, what are you planning? I think I'll come back here at some point, you know. I just come back here when I think it's the right time. You know, it's one of these things like you take a ticket and you wait for heaven to give you the car, you know. So how does that work? Well, you kind of get, like you say, you get this kind of vibe that you need to pass to the next life, and then that's kind of what you do, you know. But you kind of have to give up a part of your own past and the character to form into the new spirit or the body, you know. So yeah, because I was wondering about that with like reincarnation, how that works and stuff. Yeah, it's like putting on clothes and stuff, you know. You put on a new type of life, you live in a different kind of existence, and then you just go from there, you know. Yeah, it's a bit complicated because, well, the thing is, when you do it, everything changes. So, you know, a part of me will come over and go into the next life, like, you know, Monk Swagger or a way of work, or, you know, these types of things. Or a sense of humor and bits of my character and things. But in the end, you just become what you want to become, and then just live that life, live existence. kind of like the body is like you know, like you practice or something. Okay. So time travels differently in heaven. What about are there kind of like, I know it's going to sound strange, are there like aliens and things there? They're different dimensions and stuff, you know? It's like keyed into the planet where the people come from. That's what it is. Like, you know, sort of travel around, hang around together. But it's, you know, these things they're all different, man. You know, it's all different here. You know, you find out what you want to find out, and you just travel there and get there. It might be a bit too much when you get into that alien thing, you know. But you know, just do what you do, you know. Okay, cool. I'll probably let you get back to where you are, chilling and stuff. So yeah, you know, it's nice, Ja-reice, to sort of catch up with you. I sort of sense something there. I think maybe our paths have crossed at some point. Yeah, I think that do. You know, like a tribal thing, like a past thing or tongue thing. You know, it's like spirits attracted to other spirits and like a code and stuff, you know? Now do the things and people you meet and meet them again and all of that, you know? Okay, cool. So anyway, I'm going to let you go, Ja-reice. Because the longer I'm trying to channel, I'm sort of fusing a little bit with the character of Ja-reice, the entity of Ja-reice, that kind of being, and it's that kind of deep desire to sort of connect spiritually with something. I sort of pick up on little bits and bobs. You know, I'm sort of seeing some sort of like large yellow fish. It's like massive, like a carp. And I was trying to sort of locate from my limited knowledge of like the Caribbean. So I was getting pictures in my mind, little things, you know. You know, yeah, I can feel it. You know, because if you kind of linking back, it's because time in itself, it kind of moves in with the alignment of the synchronized with the way the sort of like planet works, but at a more sort of deeper level, if you're not based in a world or a particular dimension, you're not held by a certain synchronicity to the time, that time structure. It's not that it's like the chronologicals, you put things into order, and I guess dimensions have a kind of an attachment and a sort of set frequency. My other things don't necessarily have that relationship to a particular frequency, and so you're able to go back on yourself. It's a bit like revisiting a dream, so there's sort of, you're allowed to do things you would normally be able to do, experience, and also, you know, just to try and do that channel and trying to focus that energy. You know, I hope anyone doesn't see any sort of racial issues there, because sometimes people are a bit sensitive, but I think if we kind of avoid things, we can make things worse in our culture, or if we overanalyze things, we should be very much living in the present. And when it comes to a lot of race and stuff like that, there's these divides, but it's all a part of a game. And I think a lot of people know as well. A lot of cultures know, you know, people that live the culture, sort of the grassroots of whatever that culture might be, they're quite aware that they get played a bit. And the system likes that division to a certain degree. I mean, sure, there's going to be some problematic people out in this world we live, but there's also people that play up to it, and there's also people who use it as a way to manipulate people as well. This is quite open-minded. So the best thing with like race and like experience it for yourself. That's the best way. I mean, it's like things you see like war zones, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of portrayed how run down these countries are and so on, but they're not actually. I mean, some areas might be a bit rough. Might be some issues in some areas of the country, but it's not all over, you know. So yeah. Also quite like it is that I feel quite relaxed after doing something like that, because I've had to try to open my mind up in different ways. I wonder if this traffic's going so slow. And I could feel this kind of a bit of a Jamaican mixture of vibe in there. And also been seeing sort of like where I live in town, some black art actually. I mean, some art put up there, but it's got some cultural, I don't know if it's a cultural blandness, if that'd be fair or whatever. It depends how people see it. I mean, I don't really see any race there, and someone say, hey, you can't do that. But you know, if you want to put different jackets and different break things down into little pockets and stuff, you know, it just makes life a bit more too complicated. You know, if it's useful or not. It's one of the reasons why I got fed up with the council. I mean, it wasn't that the racial issues weren't there. It's just I think working up to them isn't helping, and trying to say, well, we got to look into these things. We got to pick away at it, because the problem is with, say, for myself, as a kind of purpose of my framework as a white person or whatever, is I don't really see myself as having a particular culture. It's like something everyone else would have. You know, people like to have a Sunday roasted, whoever they are. People celebrate a form of Christmas or whatever that might be. You know, they do their own thing on that. But it's, as a culture, it's kind of like a shared thing that we all do, and so it's not like I say, oh yeah, that's really Christian, or that's put that in the box. I mean, even Christians are kind of like, well, actually, just love each other and get on with business. I mean, basically, it was kind of like the good stuff out of the Ten Commandments. You kind of want to take on, just want to sort of get along, live by some principles, good principles, make a difference, and then become a better person, really. And that's it, really. So I wonder what it's like to actually pass away, but decide just to hang on in some other form, maybe live out a memory, or however that kind of interface between heaven works. You can be living in a bubble or something. Oh, fucking hell. I've got a bloody guy on this. Oh no, I wasn't going to go that way. Bloody hell. Got that coming over. And also, it's kind of like, you know, in the past I had an experience where I kind of tuned into some different cultures, like Aboriginal, and some sort of African connection. I just kind of saw something. The problem is, say, if we believe in reincarnation, and you can reincarnate yourself as any race, you know, if you was aware of that, would you like to say, well, I'm this or that, or you suddenly become a little bit confused by that statement. I can choose to consider myself more this culture or that culture. But fundamentally, we're all the same. We all want the same, similar desires. And the other thing that shocks me, it's a bit like all this energy crisis over gas. So on one hand, we're turning around saying all these evil Russians, blah, 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 blah. And then on the other hand is they're helping us out with like space missions and stuff. And we're buying stuff that we're reliant on, like natural gas and so on. So I think it's all a bit of propaganda, you know what I mean? I think people like well, different leaders from around the world, they could all sit around and have a little giggle, have a drink, have a chat. All this kind of hostility on the outside is ridiculous. It's why probably they were mad at Trump, because when Trump, you know, he phoned up Putin, I think, had a chat, and he congratulated him from his presidency. He said, why did he do that? Because he said, oh yeah, because he thinks he's like minded and stuff. No, because it's what leaders do. It's just like a job they will do. They got to play the game. Maybe they've got to please certain groups. Like, you're not going to buy weapons if everyone's happy. So we've got to play it up a little bit. Like some places have like a tank display and stuff like that. It's just, you know, it looks like we're gearing up for World War II, and they just go around with the tanks, and so this is with the army and all these sorts of wonderful things. And it's fine. I'm not against have a military. I think we can use the military in different positive ways, though. I think really they're to maintain the integrity and the infrastructure of government at some levels. Maybe. So, you know, a bit like this talking about with the fuel crisis and issues, and they can sort of help out, you know, with that, and yeah. Yeah, but I think sometimes if you connect with people that are passed over, they want to pass their love on to the living, and it's a little difficult, because trying to do mediumship and trying to channel and pass message on people that, you know, they've moved on. I guess they've moved on in their life, sadly to say. It's that mixture of what death is. And definitely within my job, you can see us getting old can be really difficult for some people, when you think these are kind of challenges I'm going to have in the future, like mobility and health, and what you cling on to. And also issues of the past. Are there things in my past that I'm particularly happy about? Not particularly, you know. I don't really think about it too much. But I think I went through a lot, and I've gone through a lot of changes, so I'm not the same person, really. That's why I thought, would you ever go to a school reunion? And I thought, I don't know. I mean, it might be good in one way, but then you might encounter things that you want to sort of put aside and forget about. Like, you might meet people you don't want to meet. Especially people who think they might have one over on you or something like that. You might just want to let rip on them. You might say, what the fuck do you think you're going at? I mean, what do you do with your life? Just ask people, do you know what hits hard? Are you actually happy with the way your life turned out? I don't think so. You're like, oh, what? You can't talk to me like that. Used to be silly things that kids used to say, you think you're hard? And that just sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? No, we're both made out of the same biomatter, but as physically hard as you are, I imagine. I don't know. Or maybe you just turn up and be happy. I mean, imagine at a school reunion, it'd be only people that really like the school. I don't think you'd have really people that didn't get along. You know, we're totally making out of them, aren't we? I'm going to chill out and make some money, I think. Do a bit of crypto. Ja man, do some crypto and stuff. And that, yeah. That'd be all good, wouldn't it? Be all good. It's kind of like a psychic connection now. That is not too bad. You sometimes, what I need to do is what you call a clearance, and I think you just shut yourself down. Get the weekend, don't they? No fucking things, eh? I'll go over it. Lovely. Nice big sun off. Have a great one. Speak to you soon. Bye.